Hello, my name is Joe Lorendo, and I am a former camper and staffer of Soundview. I was also the youth advisory delegate for the 208th General Assembly for the Olympia Presbytery. And I am speaking to you today on behalf of Camp Soundview, because I believe that Soundview is one of the most important mission and outreach opportunities that the Presbytery has. If it wasn't for Camp Soundview, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is a Christian ministry major with a pastoral emphasis at Northwest Christian University in Eugene, Oregon. I'm currently a senior, and I'm coming up on my last year here at school, and I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity to go out and serve God. But I have to say that camp is where I made the decision to do this. Camp has always been a powerful place for me. And it taught me the importance of shepherding and reaching out to others, leading them and guiding them. I learned that by being a camper and a staffer through various struggles and trials, both in my life and even at camp. Soundview was always a place where I could go and remind myself that God was with me, that God was standing by me no matter where I was in my life. And Soundview was a constant reminder that God loved me. And he showed us that love through the staff at camp, through the opportunities that I received there. I know that the church has other opportunities to experience Christ, and I know that those are incredibly important, but to lose Soundview is to lose something that can create countless future ministers and people who are caught on fire by the Spirit and are chasing after God with their whole hearts. Because you see, I had the chance here at college to work at a couple of other camps, and none of them are quite like Soundview. I'm not sure what it is or what makes Soundview so special, but the differences that I've seen at Camp Soundview in my own life and in the life of the campers that I've had the chance to meet, it really is just powerful and amazing. I first went to Soundview during junior high for Memorial Day work weekend, and my youth group was going and they invited me, and I decided it was better than staying at home playing video games all weekend. And I ended up having a ton of fun, and I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the people there, but I never really had a chance to be a camper until a bit later in my life, when I got the chance to go to Halloween retreats and leadership retreats, and I got to help serve in a few ways there. And then we would always go back for the Memorial Day work weekend, and I always had so much fun being there, helping to clean up the camp and take care of what was needed to be done. However, my first real experience as a camper was during my senior year of high school, when I got to go for high school camp. And I got to be there and just hang out with a bunch of people my age and see that God was working in their lives just like he was working in mine. And really, that was the most powerful experience I had at camp as a camper. However, after I graduated high school, there wasn't really much for me in my church, and there wasn't really much for me going on in life, so I decided to move across the country to Florida, and I lived there for 6 months. I was striking it out on my own and trying to be my own person. However, it turns out that that was a bit of a mistake. I ended up not being as successful as I had hoped, and after 6 months, I had to sell almost everything I owned and come back to Washington. So I came back with nothing but a suitcase. And I didn't have a job. I barely had a place to live. And that's when I got a call from my old youth director saying, "Hey, Joe, Soundview needs male counselors, and I know you're back from Florida and you probably need a job, so why don't you give them a call?" So I sent in my application, and about a week later I got a phone call, and they offered me the opportunity to work at Soundview for the summer. And I figured it was a great way to save up a little bit of money and go and kind of prepare myself for what I wanted to do. But what I didn't expect was just how life-changing it can be as a college-age youth and young adult to go to camp and experience the wonder that is Camp Soundview from the side of the staff. The chance to watch campers grow in their faith over a course of a week, to witness someone coming to Christ for the first time here at camp, to learn about their journeys and to show them an unconditional love that can only be found in places where God is present. And Soundview is a place where God is present. That summer changed my life completely. I realized that I needed to refocus my life on ministry, on chasing after and helping others to witness God's glory. And Soundview is what brought that to me. I ended up going back to school the very next fall after the summer ended, and I started clearing up my prerequisites. However, I ended up getting lost again, as I spent, instead of going back to Soundview for a second summer, I spent that summer working different jobs and trying to find my way, and I ended up falling out of school again and just losing my path for a while. And it wasn't until I had a wake-up call from God, where God was just telling me, "Hey Joe, I still need you." And I looked around at my situation. I was a used car salesman at that point, and I realized that I hated the job and that I needed to take a leap of faith. And I decided to go work at Soundview again. So I went and I worked at Soundview for a second summer, and I absolutely fell in love with the camp all over again. It was actually that summer that I decided that I needed to buckle down and really make my decision to pursue God and to pursue ministry. And it was a powerful summer, because it was through the support of the staff and watching these campers grow and evolve in their faith and discover new wonders of glory and creation in God. And it was an amazing experience. As soon as I came back from that summer, I applied to Northwest Christian University and I started classes in January. And the only logical thing for me to do then was to apply to work at Soundview again for another summer, and this time I was the food service coordinator. And it was the most stressful and exhausting job I've ever had, but it was probably the best summer I ever had at Soundview. The chance to serve these campers in a new way, to provide the talents that I have in the kitchen for them. And watching campers who were campers, now LITs, and LITs who I helped mentor were now staffers, and seeing so many wonderful evolutions in their faith and in their journey. And that's when I realized just how important camp is, because it's an opportunity to help mentor and guide youth into pursuing ministry. You see, at Soundview, you start off as a young camper, and then you continue on your way up until you're an LIT, and then you apply to be on staff. And that is where it is incredibly vital, because the church has so few options for students who have just graduated high school. There are young adult groups and all of those, but those, at least in my experience, very frequently fall apart. But Soundview gives you a family of people your age who are there to support you and help lead you and guide you in your faith. And to have that type of a community is incredibly valuable. You see, Soundview is more than just a camp where we go and have fun. It's a chance to reach out to kids who otherwise don't witness God in the real world. They see God at church and they see God at youth group, but other than that, they don't really know where God can be found until they go to camp and they realize there are people all over the state, all over the county, all over their city who are living and breathing God's word and are sharing it at camp. If it wasn't for Camp Soundview, I wouldn't be here where I am today, pursuing the ministry with the hope of going out and helping others find just how wonderful it is to experience God fully outside of the church and in a mission opportunity that is in our own backyard. So I urge you, keep Soundview open. It is a place that can help shape and form new leaders for the church, and it can help give opportunities to those who don't necessarily have the chance to continue with their faith after high school because youth group is closed. It gives them a chance to have that Christ-centered family that we all crave and need. So, thank you.